everyone, this is Mindy Eggen for Tailored Expressions, and today I am going to create a pop-up card featuring the Sweet Stack card making kit. I'll show you exactly how to create the pop-up in the inside of your card using the Party Pop-Up laser cuts, and then we're also going to be doing some ink blending and some foiling. So let's take a look at the supplies that I'll be using today. I have the Sweet Stack layering stencil, Piled High birthday sentiments, coordinating die and stamp set, Make-A-Wish die set, Starfall background stamp, Birthday Bash stamp set and coordinating die. I'll use a sentiment for the front of the card, the Arch Stacklets, and Up for a Celebration bundle. I'll be using saltwater taffy and sugar cube cardstock. Then for inks, I have saltwater taffy, sprinkles, Cookie Monster, peaches and cream, papaya, guava, cherry pop, and VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. Other supplies that I'll be using is a ruler, the embossing mat, carrier sheet and shim, my Misty Clear alignment panels, champagne fun foil, bleed-proof white ink, and a water dropper bottle, paintbrush, pick and place tool, reverse tweezers, craft pick, white gel pen, small and large scissors, thin foam squares, repositionable tape and scotch tape, and post-it tape, a bone folder, foam strips, tiny diamonds tip and tidy, Misty, Party Pop-Up laser cuts, standard and bitty blending brushes, and the glue press. So let's get started. I'll be using the Party Pop-Up laser cut, and I am going to take some repositionable tape and place that on the back of this panel to hold that down to my work surface, and I'm just using some repositionable tape for that. The Sweet Stack layering stencil actually is 4 stencils to create all your different 4 tiers of your cake. I'm only going to be using 3 of the 4. So I'm starting with the stencil that has the most open areas first. They are numbered in the bottom corner, but it really doesn't matter what order you do them in. So I am starting with that most open area first. The first color I'm going to be using is a peaches and cream. So using a standard blending brush, I am going to apply a very light application of the peaches and cream because I wanted this to be a really nice light layer so I can layer over the top of it with a darker color. I'm going to bring in the second layer of the stencil for that particular area of the cake. And you can do these in 2 totally different colors. I opted to keep that first layer just all the peaches and cream. And then the second layer, I'm also going to keep the same color, which is going to be guava. And that's going to add a fun design to our cake. Now, the next layer of the cake comes in 2 stencils. It's actually going to mask, one is going to mask off the other section. I'm actually only going to use one because I wanted to leave some white space or white frosting on my cake. So lined up that area of the stencil with the laser cut. I'm going to be using saltwater taffy and a very light hand because I wanted this to be a really nice light teal. So once I remove this layer of the stencil, the other stencil would actually fill in that open white space, but I wanted to leave white on there. I wanted to add some stamping to my background, but I didn't want to get on my cake. So I am taking a Post-it note. I lined up the top of my Post-it note with the top of my cake. And then using my ruler, I am tracing those lines because I wanted to try and get this cut as straight as possible. I thought a ruler would be a great way to do that. And for the most part, I can see through the Post-it note. I'm going to then remove that Post-it note and I'm going to take my scissors and trim along all of those lines. So that will create a mask for my cake, but I still have the bottom layer that I want to mask off because I'm not sure how far the stamp is going to come down. So once I trim this out, I'm going to place this over my cake and then I will bring in another Post-it note and I'll be placing that over the top of that bottom layer. This time I decided not to use the ruler. I was just going to freehand it with a pen and then once again kind of trim it out with my scissors and place that over a top. Being that these are all straight lines and very boxy for a cake layer, it was really easy to create that mask. The background stamp that I want to use for this is Starfall background because I was envisioning kind of these beautiful stars just trickling down in the background. So I am placing my laser cut panel into my Misty. You see, I had to change the orientation to make this all fit. I lined up my background, picked it up with the door of the Misty, and I'm going to stamp this in saltwater taffy. So I'm going to stamp this down. And then I'm going to bring in a Post-it note and kind of mask off where that ended, just kind of slightly past the stars. I cleaned off the stamp, I removed it. I had to shift my cardstock up in my Misty a little bit, and then I'll bring the stamp back in, pick it up at the door of the Misty, and this time I'm going to ink up just that bottom half of the stamp. So the post-it tape is kind of masking off the rest of the stars, but also as a guide so I don't ink up my stamp too much. So for the most part, this worked and I got very little overlapping. So I'm going to remove this from my Misty. I'm going to do a little bit of ink blending. This time I'm going to bring in sprinkles. So it's going to be just a little bit darker than what I stamped. I'm starting at the very top and I'm going to blend that maybe about a quarter or halfway down, just to kind of help blend that into the background a little bit. So my stars aren't so stark or sticking out. Then I'm going to bring in Cookie Monster and I'm going to mainly add that towards the very top. So it'll be just a little bit darker up there and kind of fade off. So when I remove my mask, I now have this beautiful star background that I thought looked really great for a celebratory design. Bringing this panel back over to my Misty, I am going to stamp a sentiment using the Piled High birthday set. And at first, I lined up two sentiments, but I wasn't sure how it was going to look having both of those stamped. So I'm bringing in these Misty transparency panels that Tailored Expressions carries. So that's going to protect my surface, but I can see through it. So that's going to give me a really good visual if I like both of the sentiments stamped down. So I stamped it in VersaFine and I decided I didn't really care for the happy birthday off on the side. So I'm going to clean that stamp, remove it, remove the transparency because I did like the placement of that stacked sentiment. So remove the transparency and then I can ink that up with that VersaFine Claire Nocturne ink and stamp that down onto my cardstock. So the other side of my birthday cake will be left for where you can write a personal message. I'm going to add a little bit of texture to that background by using my bleed proof white ink that I diluted with just a little bit of water and splattering with a paintbrush. So I'm going to set that off on the side to dry. While that's drying, I'm going to work on my candles. So I have three candles that I die cut using the Make a Wish die set. I'm going to leave the candles themselves white, but I colored in the flames using my Olo markers. And then I can just add a little bit of glue to the tip for the flames and pick those up with my pick and place tool. Bringing my dried panel over to my scoring board, I am going to score this right down the center at 4 inches because this is cut a little bit smaller than what an A2 size card base would be. So I scored it at 4 inches. I'm going to reinforce those folds using my bone folder. So popping up my layers is going to be the last thing I do. I want to add my candles. Now, when I add my candles, I'm putting a little bit of glue on the front of the candle down at the bottom and then tucking that behind each of the layers and staying away from that score line. I kind of learned my lesson when I was practicing. So I'm going to use my tweezers to kind of hold it there for a few seconds, let that glue really set in and adhere to the cardstock. So now we can start popping up our layers. And what I'll do is you can see I'm placing my right hand right at the edge of the layer and I'm going to kind of fold this in. And I showed on the back there where I'm kind of taking my finger, I'm pushing it up right in the center. And then my right hand has my fingernail where it is guiding it to fold along that edge. So I'm kind of pushing with my finger in the back and guiding that edge with my right hand. And then here we created that really fun birthday cake pop-up. The inside panel is done, and now I need to decorate the front. So I am using the foil it panels for the Up for Celebration bundle. I prepped the front of that panel with an anti-static powder tool, and then I'm going to be using champagne fun foil, which I did wipe the back of that as well with a Swiffer cloth. I'm placing this in my carrier sheet with my shim. I already had my foiling machine warming up. I am using the fuse machine that I set to a 4. And then once that is a green light, I can go ahead and place my carrier sheet in and run it through. Once I gave that panel some time to cool, I pulled it out and I have a perfectly foiled panel. I did go ahead and do the other one as well, and I like having an extra just in case I mess anything up on my first one. Before I do my ink blending, I'm going to use the coordinating die to die cut that out. And then I put repositionable tape on the back of that to hold it down to my work surface. And now I'm going to use the stencil to color in the balloon and the present. I'm starting off with sprinkles. I'm starting at the bottom of each of the balloons and then blending up towards the top. So it's going to fade off a little bit. I'll even add a little bit of Cookie Monster to give the balloons a little bit of a depth. And then also coming back to the present, doing sprinkles there as well. And then a little bit of Cookie Monster at the bottom. I think these are my favorite kind of balloons where they have that sprinkle mix that is trickling in there and then landing down towards the bottom. Now, my next layer for the stencil, I am starting off with peaches and cream. So I'm trying to tie in some of the colors that I used from the inside of the card. Peaches and cream, my first light application, and then coming in with papaya. This time I brought in a bitty blending brush and really helped focus that down at the bottom of each of the balloon. The smaller brush, I was able to control the amount of color that I was placing down. Now, the last layer for the balloon, I'm starting off with guava. This one can get a little carried away if you're not careful. So I start very, very light handed, but I did want to add that contrast like I did on the rest of balloons. So I'm coming in with cherry pop right at the very bottom. Now, for my front panel, I am going to be using a piece of saltwater taffy cardstock that is cut to 4¼ by 5½ and the arched stacklets. I did kind of debate on the two different sizes. I figured that the larger arched stacklet would work better because that would give me more room for my balloons. So I'm placing that on top of a piece of sugar cube cardstock popped up with foam tape, and my balloons and present popped up with foam tape as well. Then I can go ahead and add this to the front of my A2 size side folding card base. Now we can add our pop-up in the center of our card base. So I'm using Scotch tape for this. I'm just applying the Scotch tape to one side. I have it folded in half. I'm going to line up the fold of my pop-up with the fold that I have in the center of my card base. I'm going to fold the other side over to pick that up. I really want to make sure that my margins are even on the right-hand side and the top and bottom. And then I'm adding tape runner to the other side of my pop-up, closing that card base to pick that up as well. And then when we open it up, we have this really fun pop-up cape in the middle. Off screen, I stamped and die cut out a sentiment from the Birthday Bash stamp set that I'm adding to the front of my card panel right over the string of balloons. Now, the last thing that I'm going to be doing is embellishing at the front of my cardstock, and I'm doing that with the Tiny Diamonds Rainbow and the Tiny Diamonds Tip and Tidy. So the Tip and Tidy screws right onto the Tiny Diamonds jar. So once I kind of shook it a little bit, got some of those diamonds to come out, and then it is really cool. It's like magic that as you kind of shake those, they do pop up. So they're facing like the right side up, makes it super easy to pick them up with your wax tool. And then once I'm done, you just tip that back up and tap the side to make sure all the diamonds get back into the jar. Unscrew that, and then you can place your lid back over the top. Absolutely no mess. And then that is going to finish off my card project. So I walk you through how to create that pop-up plus doing the foiling and decorating the front. It's really fun that all the colors coordinate. And then we have that really cool birthday cake that pops up in the center. I hope you all enjoyed today's fun tutorial and you will give this color combination a try. Thanks so much for joining me today. You can find these products available over at tailoredexpressions.com.